This is the NFL Weekend Review Show on the Flex Network.
Going up, coming down, does he come down with it? Does Golden State have it? He's in the end zone, he has!
This is the Flex Network.
Unbelievable!
This is the
Romo
Flex
can't get the
Network.
spot down!
Flex on them.
Run Zeke. Up the middle, he's gone! Zeke's gone! Goodbye, Zeke! Touchdown! Short yardage, pinched in. The dogs got out.
Flex on them.
Brandon in the gun, third and 8. Crowd making noise. Manning 5 steps. Here comes the run. Taco's got it. That's an Eli taco. Low snap. He picks it up. He looks. He stands. He rushes. Oh, he's up the middle. He's running up the middle. And boom!
The Flex Network has arrived for the week. We are here. We are back in action. I am Flex Mike here on these airwaves at Flex Mike 11 on Twitter. And I just got to talk about one thing. Cowboy Cam took a hiatus when his Dallas Cowboys were also taking a hiatus during the week. They're on a bye week. So Cowboy Cam said, let me go ahead and take a bye week myself. And so here we are. Cowboy Cam below me. Cowboy Cam, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? I'm back. It feels good to be back. In all reality, I just got called in for work last week. That's why I wasn't here. But we'll say it's a Cowboy hiatus. There we go.
Yeah, it was more like a you needed the rest, my man. You needed the rest, but nonetheless, it was still nice to it was nice for you to have a nice break from us.
Yeah, and so the SnowMan, of course, to my side here, and we have it's crazy, fellas, because for weeks and weeks and weeks, I could not find a way to top either one of you in our weekly standings here, and I managed to do it in back-to-back weeks this time, and it's pretty crazy. We're all in a group chat together, and so one of the things was when we were going into Monday Night Football, I was like, who was playing Monday night? Was it Trubisky? Yeah, it was the Bears and Foles / Trubisky, whoever ends up in the game, going against the Minnesota Vikings. And I think I said in our group chat is like, dude, I don't trust Foles for anything unless it's the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and then I trust Foles. But I don't trust Foles for anything. I definitely don't trust Trubisky. I'll take my local middle school quarterback over Mr. Trubisky like 9 times out of 10. Like, that guy's driving me crazy. But interesting week. Quarterback play was down. Kirk Cousins isn't good either, so quarterback play is down. And so I think what I did during the Monday night score prediction there, I think I took total points. It was a pretty low number in comparison to what Cowboy Cam did, because I believe we were tied going into Monday Night Football.
Yeah, we were in technically it was a 2-way tie going into Monday night, and with the opportunity for me to jump in and make a 3-way for the for the second straight week, have a 3-way tie. But again, with everything going on in Chicago, I literally, watching that fourth quarter, I'm like, okay, Bears, I just need you to stop and get a score. And I have the tiebreaker points, and I can sneak in the back door after a horrendous, 6-7, and fall into you guys at 8-5. But then it didn't work. It didn't work out because I somehow got literally it was just a bad game on that, for me to pick. But I was close on the points. If that last touchdown didn't happen with the Vikings, I would have been in the driver's seat and been sitting here with another victory. And let's just be very clear, Mike. You tied again. You didn't take
Yeah,
a
that
win.
is
You
why
didn't take
we
the lead. You tied.
He ain't gonna win, yeah.
You got a win. You got a
tied.
tie win.
listen.
Oh,
Hey,
Listen, no.
he's the
No,
definition of the
at least
Philadelphia
season
Eagles
standings.
in the NFC East.
Season standings.
Hey, he's that Eagles and Bengals tiebreaker that's holding on
No.
by a thread.
No.
We're not giving you
Absolutely
any credit.
not.
No, we're not
Both of
giving you
you-
credit. No.
Both of you are wrong. Listen, both of you are wrong. Listen, you're wrong because I got the win. That is why we do the tiebreaker on Monday nights. And listen, everything both of you are saying towards me, I can say towards you, because those weeks when I wasn't winning a single thing, you both know that it was coming down to the last game or two of the week and that it was tied, because generally we don't vary too far away from each other when we're picking games. We seem to be right there a little bit. But anyway, Alex Torres checking in saying, "What up, my fellas?" So Alex Torres is checking in, watching the show with us tonight. But here, I wanted to talk a couple of things that are going on in the NFL today. The San Francisco 49ers claimed Tack McKinley, D-end, that was released by the Atlanta Falcons. So the Bengals had initially claimed him when he was released, right? So he goes to Cincinnati, goes through all the COVID protocols, comes in for his physical, actually fails his physical. So that puts him back on waivers. And then the San Francisco 49ers are there, and they're like, it's I read this week that the Cowboys, the 49ers and the Seahawks are the two most injured teams in the NFL, which is just crazy to even think about. The 49ers are not good, but like Seattle's not playing very good right now, but their record says that they're good. They're controlling their own destiny, getting ready to play the rest of the NFC East and some AFC East teams or whatever. But it's just crazy what a good organization can do for you. If you're in a good organization that tries to do things the right way and tries to do things in a good way, and you build your teams a certain way, you can be pretty injured as long as you have decent depth in certain positions. Key positions, I would say. So Tack McKinley looks like he's going to end up on the 49ers unless, of course, he fails that physical, which I would think that he would if he just failed the other one, right? So he could end up right back out. My boy E Honda. My boy E Honda is in the house. Yeah, so he's in the house. Let's see. Alex Torres dropping a comment here, says 49ers and Cowboys would lose to the Mud Dogs. And if you don't know who the Mud Dogs are,
that is
take yourself to Netflix and go check out The Water Boy with Adam Sandler. You know who the Mud Dogs are. Are we talking about pre-Adam Sandler Mud Dogs or post-Adam Sandler Mud Dogs?
If we're talking pre Bobby Boucher, then
yes.
Mud Dogs would get slaughtered. But if it was after, when Bobby Boucher came on, Mud Dogs win. Mud Dogs win.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. And Cam, I actually want to get your input on this big time because this one's really funny to me. New York Giants fire offensive line coach Mark Colombo. Reports were that Mark Colombo and Joe Judge, who's the head coach of the New York Giants, got into a fist fight. And if you know anything about Mark Colombo, you know that he's a former NFL offensive lineman. And Joe Judge isn't exactly the biggest guy in the world. So Joe Judge basically gets his butt kicked by Mark Colombo like everyone would have expected. Yes, this is the LOL moment of the week, and it just happened this morning or like yesterday or whenever it happened.
It happened today.
well, the report came out today. I don't know if the fight exactly happened today, but anyway,
I think the fight happened this morning. Like, I think it was immediately.
right?
Like, that's a great way to start the week, right there.
Right. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Cam, I'll get your opinion on it in a second here, but Colombo, apparently, Mark Colombo, former Dallas Cowboys offensive line coach, he rolls out, goes to the Giants with Jason Garrett. All is good until this. Apparently got in a fist fight with Joe Judge, beats up Joe Judge. Joe Judge is like, wait a minute, I'm the head coach. I control everything. You know what? You're fired. How dare you beat me up? So he fires him immediately. So Mark Colombo's out there on the market. Any offensive line, offensive line coach vacant position. Yeah. So they need him in Dallas. But Cowboy Cam, give me your 2 cents on this. I want to hear what you have to say about this.
So apparently Joe Judge wanted to bring in like a consultant with the offensive line for the Giants, even though this offensive line for the Giants has been blocking really well. Like, they've been running the football. I can't remember the last time the Giants were really good at running the football. They're running the football without Saquon Barkley. All right. They're moving the ball, and that's all due to Mark Colombo. He's a really good, former player coach. He's really good. And so I would love for him to come back to Dallas. Please come back to Dallas so you can whip up what's going on with the screen there? So you can whip up our young whippersnappers into shape. Also, shout out to E Honda. Yeah, your boy joined the DeSoto Tarantulas, baby. Web boom all day long. But yeah, Mark, come on back to Dallas, baby. We'd love to have you back.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. Little crazy situation there. Other than that,
crazy. There's nothing left to describe about this. It's 2020. I mean, we're having coaches fighting fighting at their own place. I mean, literally just, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on.
Well,
we all know Jason Garrett's in the background like this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
He's clapping. He's got to be clapping.
Yeah. And
but
the
anyways,
NFC East is like, yes, fight amongst yourselves.
Well, you know what? I think that the rest of the NFC East, Cowboys, Washington, and Philly, they've got to love that because, listen, if you're one of the teams in the NFC East, by the way, the Cowboys are officially in last place in the NFC East. They've been leapfrogged by every team.
Wait. We're last, but
or should I say? Or should?
Okay, let's get this whole thing straight. Okay, you may be last in the NFC least, but you ain't got 3 wins like them Giants, who are 3-2 in the division.
But we're still closest to first. Like the Eagles did us a favor. Just watch. Well, I don't want to win the division.
You're not close to first. You're not close to first.
Excuse my French.
The Giants have the tiebreaker right now.
Excuse my French. I don't give a. Well, no, we beat the Giants. So no, we have the tie. We beat the Giants. Yeah.
For now.
You have one.
For now. We beat the Giants.
They're sitting at 3-2.
But anyway, I don't give a damn. I don't even want to win the division. I don't want to win it. Like, I think 5 games is going to win this division. I don't want it. It's terrible. No, I don't want it.
Yeah, because as you can see with the rest of the NFC, you kind of need more than 3 to do it.
Right. Okay. So let's reel it back in for a second. Couple other things in the news this week. So the NFL is putting teams on what they're calling their intensive COVID protocols, which is like no more in-person meetings, a lot of virtual meetings, things like that they were doing during the off season. Drew Brees is super injured. I mean, no more NFC East talk, please. Yeah, we're done with that. Don't worry. We won't go back there. My boy Jack, we won't go back there until we have to cover one of those teams for a second. But Drew Brees is like crazy injured. Apparently he went into the game last week with already cracked ribs or something like that, or maybe a broken rib on one side, and he was toughing it out. And then all it takes is one good-sized defensive lineman to land on you during a hit or a sack or a tackle or something like that, and then broke multiple ribs and collapsed the lung. Went and got a second opinion today. Second opinion came back and was like, nah, dude, that's definitely what you have. And so he's going to be out a couple of weeks. A lot of people are talking about kind of who's going to be the starting quarterback there for New Orleans. I think they like to keep Taysom Hill in the position that he's in, being that kind of like gadget type player. And so they're going to bring in Jameis Winston to be their every down quarterback. And Jameis Winston, Mr. 40 and 40, is going to go out there and he's going to – apparently he got eye surgery or something like that. So maybe his eyes are fixed and he can – yeah, he's not blind anymore. Apparently, it was just a situation where he just couldn't see the receivers. That's why he threw 40 interceptions. But anyway, that's besides the point. A lot of crazy things going on. The rate.
Even a blind, stuck in the basement Stevie Wonder can find a wide receiver open if he was Jameis Winston.
Okay, Snow, this is the last time you ever say anything like that on this podcast. You understand me? You put some respect on Stevie Wonder's name, damn it. I'm tired of it.
That's what
You've only done it once. You've only done it once, and I'm tired of it. But anyway, on the COVID talk, let's talk COVID for a second. The Raiders have officially put 7 of their players on the COVID list ahead of the Chiefs game. Understand this. Your Seattle Seahawks remain the only team in the NFL that has yet to put a player on the COVID list.
Mm-hmm.
Are they lying or are they doing things right? No one really knows, but a lot of people think that the COVID, when they talk about COVID numbers and stuff like that, that it is a situation where teams are telling the truth because the COVID protocol and everything surrounding COVID, the testing, the screening and all that stuff is something external away from the franchise, the team itself. So they seem to think that teams are doing the right thing there. So, yeah. So Raiders are in big time trouble once again. You're talking safety Jonathan Abram, Malik Collins, Jonathan Hakens, Kendall Vickers, defensive end Arden Key, corner Isaiah Johnson. I mean, there's players that affect a game for the Las Vegas Raiders that are on that list. Go ahead, Cam.
Well, we know who we picking this week.
Unfortunately, that might be true, even though I wouldn't want to go that way. But let's get into the recaps of the week. And let's go ahead and roll Thursday Night Football from.
Before we get too far, one last little thing that the Pro Bowl is not going to be a live action this year. It is going to be done virtually this year on Madden because of this COVID. So first time ever, we're going to be having a Pro Bowl done on the sticks this year.
That's so weak and so lame. I mean, the Pro Bowl was already lame, so I'd rather watch Madden than the actual Pro Bowl.
I was literally gonna steal exactly what you said. I was just like, the Pro Bowl's been kind of just. I like the mini games. I like the mini games they do at the Pro Bowl, but the Pro Bowl game itself is.
Yeah, well, I like how they play the dodgeball and they do the passing competitions and they do the obstacle courses and stuff like that. But when I was growing up, I remember watching, Jim Harbaugh for the Baltimore Ravens going against like Kerry Collins to see who could throw the ball the furthest. Mm-hmm. I like that. The idea that you could take the football off the stand and kind of get a running start to a line of scrimmage and just launch that thing as far as you can. I wish they would do that again. Like, accuracy is one thing, and that's cool. Dak is never in that competition, obviously. But
that's true. I mean, well, he can't be in this year.
Well, he could be in this year. He could be in this year. His ankle's basically healed.
Look
By the
here.
time the Pro Bowl rolls around, he'll be able to plant and throw.
This
Well-
is my last Dallas Cowboy kind of update. If the Cowboys make the playoffs, Dak Prescott will be back.
No, he won't. Okay. Anyway, this guy's crazy.
But we won't make the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
And you're so bad that why would you, even before Dak went out, you were already bad. So like there's no reason for him to play, even if he was capable of getting back, which is not even a reality. But let's get into the recaps for the week. This past week, last Thursday night football, Colts take care of the Titans 34-17. And really at halftime, the game looks pretty close. And then the Titans scored 17 in the first half and then decided they weren't scoring again. So that pretty much ended that. Seahawks dropped to the Rams 23-16. The game was not that close. I don't care what anybody says, but appreciate the score for doing something and making them look good. Texans lose to the Browns 10-7. Another just poop fest of a game. It was just boring. Washington loses a close one to the Detroit Lions 30-27. DeAndre Swift went off. A lot of the receivers kind of did their thing there for Detroit. Terry McLaurin had about 100 yards. Alex Smith got in there and did his thing, threw for 300 plus. Let's see. Packers beat the Jaguars 24-20 in a game that should not have been that close. Gardner Minshew wasn't even playing. They had a backup playing. The Packers did that thing where it's like, man, if they were playing like a top 10 team, they probably would have lost that game, but they were playing a bottom 3 team, so they didn't lose. Next, we go Giants take care of the Eagles 27-17. Buccaneers take care of the Panthers 46-23. That game was actually pretty close for the majority of it, and then the Bucs pulled away at the end. Antonio Brown kind of really showed up in that game a little bit. You know, I don't remember his exact stat line, but I know in fantasy he had a good 15 points, something like that. Let's go. Broncos lose to the Raiders 37-12. Mama Snow rejoices because we all picked the Raiders, and the Raiders got the dub. Drew Lock re-injured himself in that game, so he'll probably be out for a little bit. Dolphins take care of the Chargers 29-21. Dolphins just are asserting themselves week after week after week of being this team that is crazy. Okay, Jags QB is from Marysville, Washington. He went to Marysville-Pilchuck High School. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that, Snow. Marysville is the town over from where Snow and I grew up. So that's pretty wild. Okay. Cardinals beat the Bills 32-30 on a last-second just bomb Hail Mary from Kyler Murray to DeAndre Hopkins, who caught it over 3 dudes.
No. You're forgetting the previous play. You're forgetting the previous to even get into that. I mean, the previous series. Buffalo driving down and literally just corner of the end zone, diving. What was it? What was it? Diggs that got it again? Stephon Diggs? Yeah, catches it. We're all thinking Buffalo is going to win this game with 30-some seconds left. Lo and behold, we get down the field to what, the 50, 45 yard right down there. And literally the bomb of the century right now for, Cardinals right now, just. And the Hail Mary in the end zone for that end zone has had so many Hail Marys in there and crazy catches inside that big toaster that it's just so crazy. You had two Super Bowl crazy catches and a couple of end zone catches down there. Literally, it's crazy. The toaster's had some great moments for Hail Marys and craziness.
I just want to say this. If you're a Bills fan, you should blame the commentators because he goes, Stephon Diggs is the best receiver in the NFL. And DeAndre Hopkins goes, hold my beer real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a second. I got to change that mind right now. And he did.
That's crazy. That's very crazy. And we have a situation. So the Cardinals beat the Bills.
By 2.
Yeah, and then let me see here. Saints beat the 49ers 27-13. Steelers beat the Bengals 36-10. And then the Patriots take care of the Ravens Sunday Night Football 23-17. Cam plays a mistake-free game, and then the Minnesota Vikings beat the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football 19-13. Let me hear it, Snow. Instant recap. Moment of the week for you.
It's like you muting my mic here, man. I already had myself unmuted for a moment. But yeah, moment of the week, I would have to say, besides the Cardinals and Bills game, which was super close, I would actually have to say it would have to be Dolphins and Chargers. Dolphins are on a tear right now. 6-3 for the first time since the beginning of the 2000s. Since 01, they have gone 6-3. That is a long time for these fish boys to go 6-3. And oh, here we go again. That, for Mike. I'll give you a cookie if you work. Dang it.
Give me a break.
It's like just something doesn't want to work with him right now. Oh, and look who's back. But yeah, just that, the Dolphins are just pulling, shocking a lot of people right now. They're thinking, 6-3 is great, especially in this NFC East that's wide open, that's not named Patriots right now.
Yeah, that whole thing is just wild. You start to think about like the AFC East and who got the better end of the deal? Who's the better piece of the organization that has kind of split? Is Tom Brady winning now, or is Bill Belichick winning? And at first glance, well, I would say that at first glance, a lot of people would go towards Tom Brady because he's basically, Cam, you and I have talked about this in the past. Tom Brady has he basically has done the equivalent of joining, like, in the NBA, they create these super teams. LeBron did it with Chris Bosh and D Wade, and so that's what Tom Brady has tried to do, is gone to this super team. He's got Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, just Cameron Brate, Rob Gronkowski, Bruce Arians is a good coach. They've got a good defense, the Ndamukong Suh's on that D line. Like, I mean, there's players out there that are big names that are all on that same team. They all got them under contract, whether it's 1 or 2 years, 3 years, whatever. But you're on a super team. But then you have to look at the other side, and you have to realize that, like, the New England Patriots are what they call cap hell right now. They're up to the penny on every single contract. So you also have to remember that the New England Patriots, by far, out of any other team in the NFL, is missing the most players due to COVID that have opted out. And so I think if you put the Patriots at full strength, and if you put we'll leave them in cap hell where they are, because they did it to themselves. But the COVID opt out, they didn't necessarily. I mean, no one knew that COVID was coming. It just kind of is what it is. But if the Patriots were at full strength, you might have a situation where the Patriots are looking a lot different and still sitting atop the AFC East. So that's important to remember with that. But let us go ahead, Snow and Cam, and venture over to Week 11 in the National Football League as we go ahead and make our picks for the week. And let's, of course, start with Thursday Night Football. The Arizona Cardinals are taking on, in Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks. Thursday Night Football, Seattle's wearing those just awful action green unis.
Are you
So,
kidding me? The Action Greens are sweet. And they're currently undefeated in those jerseys. So you might want to bite that tongue there.
well,
Not sure.
are they undefeated in the Action Greens?
They are
Wow.
undefeated on those greens.
The only thing I remember is every time we wear those Action Greens, we play against the Arizona Cardinals, and every time we play Arizona in those Action Greens, crazy things happen. A few years back, in the same game, we lost Cliff Averill, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, all in the same game, injured like crazy. And then Richard Sherman tears his Achilles. Earl Thomas breaks his leg. We lost Cam Chancellor as well. Forgot about that. Cam Chancellor and Cliff Averill, respectively, both have stingers that are career enders. They can't play football anymore because they can't take contact because of that. And so that's a big deal. And so I'll start by saying, that I take the Seahawks every week because I think we can beat any team that's up against us. I'm really looking for Russell Wilson to have a bounce back game. I saw a stat this week that talked about the first 5 games of the NFL season for Russell Wilson versus the last 5. And they have not been good. Let me see if I can pull it back up here. It's been pretty bad, to be honest. The first 5 have been great. But since then, they have not been that great. I can't find it. So the first 5, Seahawks go 5-0. Russell Wilson throws however many touchdown passes and only like 3 interceptions. Since then, since going 5-0, they're now 6-3. They lost 3 out of the last 4. He now has 10 interceptions. You're talking in back-to-back games, Russell Wilson has been hit 38 times in 2 games, which is an ungodly amount. I believe 12 sacks in those 2 games. And has turned the ball through 2 picks in each of those games and fumbled twice in each of those games. To me, there's something there that says he's just getting too much heat on him. I mean, the offensive line is doing good, but when you go against a Bills defense that's pretty good, and then you go against Aaron Donald, who's as far as NFL players goes, is close to as unblockable as it gets. And so I'm gonna take Seattle in this one just because it's a get right game for me. And really, if you looked at that last game against Arizona, we had that game in the bag and we let up late at the end and let them score a field goal and a touchdown super late that allowed it to go to overtime. And then after overtime, it really screwed a lot of things up. But I'm gonna go to Cowboy Cam next. Cam, tell me who you have.
Yo. You know what? I'm going to ride with one of the hottest teams coming up right now. And I'm going to ride with the Cardinals. I believe Seattle's getting away from running the ball. I know we all love watching Russ cook, but people tend to forget, the more you throw the ball, the more, mistakes can happen. So I won't have faith in Seattle until they get back to running the football just a little bit, not even a lot, just a little bit, being more, just a little more conservative, not dropping Russell Wilson back, because like you said, that offensive line is good, but it's not great. It's not great to where you can just have Russell Wilson throw the ball 40, 45 times and expect him to be clean in the pocket and mistake free. So give me the Cardinals.
But Snow, before you go, I want to say this. Cam, I hear what you're saying about running the ball, and everything you're saying is completely accurate. But you're talking about a team that has lost their running backs, right? So they have DJ Dallas, a rookie. I don't even know what round pick he is. 3rd round pick, 4th round, 5th round, who knows? Out of Miami. And then you have Travis Homer, who's a 6th round pick, second year player, and he is undersized. He's small. He would be small for a slot receiver. But he's back there because he's good in pass protection for some reason. I like the Seahawks in this game because Carlos Hyde is coming back. Chris Carson is actually questionable, even though Adam Schefter put a tweet out that said that he doesn't expect him to play according to sources, which Adam Schefter could be right. But Pete Carroll today on the media told the media that he's going to be a game time decision. So if something changes before then, whatever. But a lot of people need to remember that Carlos Hyde was a 1,000-yard back last year for the Houston Texans. So he can definitely do his thing. And so I'm not saying we have to be great running the ball, but we have to, teams are selling out to come after Russell Wilson because they don't respect the run because we don't have anything. So they're like, oh, we're definitely blitzing 90% of the plays. And there's nothing they're going to be able to do to stop it. And so just wanted to add that little 2 cents in there for the Seahawks.
That is, man, you put that perfectly, dude. You broke that down perfectly. But now I can't walk it back, so I still got to ride with the Cardinals. But I had no idea Hyde was coming back and that Chris Carson was questionable. So we might have a great game on our hands here.
Okay, Snow, go ahead. You're up. What's your pick for this game?
Well, before I make my pick, just doing a little research over here. I mean, yes, this game is going to be on Thursday night, and it is going to be for first place in the NFC West division. And this will be the last time that these guys face off against each other unless they meet each other in the playoffs, especially with this added teams for this year. So added additional teams for the playoffs. So we could be meeting each other in the first round for wild card. But in doing my research, the last time that the Seahawks have lost 3 straight to the Cardinals hasn't happened. Actually, it was technically 4 straight, but since it'll be this will be third if we lose. But the last time we lost 4 straight to the Cards was back in 08-09 seasons. In those 2 seasons, we lost 2 games against each other, against those Cards. So right now, Arizona's on a 2-game win streak right now. And of course, what's going on? Everyone's coming back right now. And the fact that not only is this a potential, who's taking the lead in this series, because we are all tied up in this series at 21 apiece and 1 tie after 43 matchups. So this is going to be a very great game to check out tomorrow night, the last Thursday night game before we head into some turkey, heading into Thanksgiving. So what better way to get some birds out there on the field? Just too bad it's going to be a Seahawk. I'm picking the Seahawks to rally back and get back to their winning ways, especially if they want to make this push for NFC West and try to stay in contention for the end, that first round bye that everyone wants to have, especially this year, because only the number 1 team in each conference gets that bye. So give me the Seahawks.
Michael Yeager checking in, just flashing some comments up there. He said he's happy. He said, oh yeah, Cowboy Cam 2 times a day. He said the Eagles are going to host a home playoff game with a sub 500 record, a bunch of laughing emojis. And then this is the one that I have an issue with. Russ ain't cooking and Lockett is done. Stick a fork in the Seahawks. Their defense will be their undoing. I don't disagree about their defense being their undoing, but I do disagree with Russ ain't cooking and Lockett is done. Lockett is not done. He practiced fully today, and Pete Carroll said during an interview today that he actually had to slow Tyler Lockett up because he didn't want him to work too much. But anyway, and Russ will get back to cooking very shortly.
Boo,
but let's
this
go ahead.
man, Michael.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and move to the next game. We'll go to Sunday. We have the 3-5-1 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 6-3 Cleveland Browns. And let me tell you this. I have a friend on Facebook who is a Cleveland Browns fan, and he posted a picture of Baker Mayfield. I don't know why, because he's garbage, but and then it said 6-3 underneath it, and I was like, "Are the Browns really 6-3?" And it really caught me off guard because the last few Browns games that I've watched, they've been garbage. They've been bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, they just have not been good. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good you look. If you win games, you win. And so it is what it is. The Browns are sitting at 6-3. Cleveland is favored by 3.5 points. Let's go Snow. Snow, I'm going to start with you this time. Tell me, who do you have in this one, Cleveland or Philly?
Well, as everyone knows right now, the NFC least is a sheer struggle fest right now. Like everyone needs to be drinking. Everybody needs to be like singing sad songs, giving last rites to this division because it is just so horrible to the point where we're all saying, "Get me out of here!" It's just that bad. So, and the fact that this is a 6-3 Cleveland team who has what? If I've been looking at their schedule the last little bit. I mean, yeah, they pulled they pulled off a weak win against the Texans, only winning by 3, 7-10 in a 17-point game total. You lose to the Raiders in a low game, and you beat the Bengals in a high-scoring game by 3. So a lot of their games, besides the Pittsburgh game, which was a complete blowout, they've been close, or that they've been low scoring and close, or high scoring close. So, and the way that Philadelphia is looking this year, especially sitting at this putrid 3-5-1 record. I want to pick the Browns just because this team looks a little stronger compared to the Eagles. However, because the Eagles have won 5 straight against Cleveland, I think that this will be not a struggle game, maybe not even a close game. It'll be an interesting game, to say the least. So give me them cheesesteak birds. I'm going with the cheesesteaks. Give me Philly.
What are you doing? What's going on here? This is a bunch of malarkey that I just heard. Look here. This is a bunch of malarkey, like I said. Look here. The Eagles are done. All right, they're done for. If you can't stop the Giants from running the football, you're not going to be able to stop the Browns from running the football. All right, the Browns are going to run the football down the Eagles' throat, and there's going to be nothing the Eagles can do about it. Give me the Cleveland Browns.
I will also be taking the Cleveland Browns in this scenario. And I think this is a situation where the Eagles don't have the bodies to really match up with the Browns in their running game. I think Baker Mayfield will still look super suspect and just not be a good football player like he has been basically his entire career. He's just not good at this point. But here we are. The Browns don't deserve to win this game, but they will because the Eagles are that bad. They are not a good football team, and they're injured, and they don't have depth, and they still have a converted college quarterback to receiver, playing receiver. But Snow, I'm gonna turn it to you. I see you over there, kind of wanting to say something.
Hold on,
Can't take it.
I'm gonna just tell y'all this. This is still the worst quarterback in the NFL. Carson Wentz is the worst quarterback in the NFL right now. So that's why I'm not picking the Eagles.
Well, think about this. And again, I mean, look what year it is. It's 2020, and we've said this thing before on here.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible. I mean, hell, Philly could come out and just bash these poor dogs who thought they had a chance in the AFC North. I mean, yes, they still have a shot at the second spot behind Baltimore, but right now Pittsburgh looking like a monster right now in the AFC North. 9-3, 3-0 in the division. Baltimore sitting at 6-3 with a 2-1 division record, and Cleveland is hot on their heels at 2-2 in the division and a 6-3. So Cleveland still can get maybe get into that wild card position, maybe not host, but they can still possibly get into that wild card spot, as an AFC North rep. Just depends on what everyone else does.
I just want to address Michael Yeager here. He said Carson Wentz hasn't been great, but he isn't the worst. Carson Wentz currently leads the NFL in turnovers. His completion percentage, I believe, is last, or it might be 33rd. There's only 32 starting teams, and I believe he's 33rd. So it's not good. Dak Prescott still has more passing yards than he does. Look here, Carson Wentz is bad, dude. He's bad. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. It's Carson Wentz's fault. He's just that bad. He's regressed. There we go.
Damn,
He's regressed.
What stat do you want? What stat do you want? Because I can tell you, I have the list right now.
Carson Wentz is
I have passing stats right now.
Give me the completion percentage.
Completion.
I think he's like 32nd or 33rd.
Carson Wentz. Oh my God. Carson Wentz is third at the bottom. He's third from the bottom.
So he rose up a little bit more. Okay.
He's completed 199 out of 332. Yeah, he's a lot better than the Jets' Sam Darnold and Drew Lock of Denver. He's better than those two. He is third from the bottom.
Good
His
Lord.
QBR rating, his rating now is a 73.1.
I rest my case.
Let's understand something for a second, okay? You said 199 out of what?
342.
Okay, 342. 199 out of 3. Okay, so that puts you at about
58.2%.
Yeah, I was about to say barely over 50%. Not to mention the two players that he's above. Drew Lock, prior to last week, hadn't played, or prior to 2 weeks ago, hadn't played since week 1. Sam Darnold hasn't played in 2 weeks, and he's on the Jets. And so understand that. But Michael Yeager, I'm not letting you escape with your Donald Trump-ism over here talking about fake news. Like, nah, dude.
And even with the completion percentage, it's looking at the percentage wise, he's sitting Carson Wentz is sitting to last at 58.2. Drew Lock is at the worst with 55%.
Well, he hasn't really played. Oh, what in the world?
Oh,
my wife just brought home this.
Oh, got cup, got thermo cup, or tumbler.
Anyway, I don't know.
Okay, first off,
30 ounce.
That's how I know we're old. That's how I know we're old men. We all got excited about a cup. We're old.
Time out. Snow and I are old. I'm 32. Snow's probably 30. Right?
I got the knees of a 60-year-old guy. All right,
dude. I got the knees, the ankles, and the back of a person who's been dead for 20 years. Okay.
I just hit 30,
have the worst.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Okay, so
Um,
I didn't
yes,
didn't
we made
pick.
our
Did
pick.
you pick?
Yeah, you pick Cleveland. Cam picked Cleveland. I picked Philadelphia.
Okay,
We
so
all made our
let's
picks
roll
for that
into
game.
let's roll into the next game. Falcons taking on the Saints. 3-6. Atlanta taking on 7-2 New Orleans. Jameis Winston at the helm for New Orleans, more than likely this week. I don't think they've officially announced, but more than likely. New Orleans 5-point favorites. I'll start with Cowboy Cam this time. Cam, who do you have in this one?
We're gonna eat a W.
I can't stand you.
We're gonna
Oh my
eat
god.
a W. Give me no, I want to see this
done.
Jameis Winston. I want to see the Jameis Winston with the improved eyesight. Been under Sean Payton for a few weeks, more than halfway through the season. So I want to see what that offense is going to look like. Will he let Jameis Winston let it rip? Will we see Michael Thomas, targeted down the field? Who knows? But give me the Saints over the Falcons because we just can't trust the Falcons.
Okay, Snow, go ahead. Who do you have in this one?
Let's see. Atlanta has won 3 out of the last 4 games under Morris. They were 0-5 under Quinn, their former coach. So they're kind of rolling right now with their new coach right now, winning their last 3 out of their 4. Saints right now are sitting on top of the NFC South right now. So this is a game they need to keep ahead of. Bucks right now sitting right behind them, a game back from them. Overall wise at 7-3. The Bucks, are sitting 2-2 in the division, so not a real threat at the moment. Because Saints, they've beaten everybody once, so they gotta play everybody again. And then the last time that these guys played each other, Falcons lost to the Saints. So I feel like that this is going to be a Saints marching in kind of game. So give me them holy Saints. Because I don't trust some Falcons either.
I'm gonna roll with New Orleans for a couple of reasons. Everyone's really expecting New Orleans to, they're comparing Jameis Winston to kind of what Teddy Bridgewater did last year when Drew Brees hurt his thumb or whatever that was. And then Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 in the absence of Drew Brees. I don't think that's a realistic thing. I just think that Atlanta is not the team to come in and beat the Saints this week. Atlanta is 3-6 for a reason. They should probably be 4-6, or 4-5,
4-5.
whatever it is. But they choked on a few games, including that Dallas game. But they're not the team to come in and beat New Orleans. New Orleans is sitting atop the NFC South right now. They beat Tampa Bay week 1, and then they beat them pretty easily 2 weeks ago. And so I think Jameis Winston will be all right. I think New Orleans defense is pretty good, and there's just not a lot that Atlanta has to offer, especially with Calvin Ridley being questionable. As Alex Torres dropped a comment on here, said Ridley is questionable. And so if Ridley doesn't play, then they definitely don't have a chance. With Ridley, it would be close. And so I'm just not ready to give it to the Falcons right now. I don't think they're ready. They are kind of in a weird spot with their coach and all that good stuff. So
yeah.
Let's move on to the next game. Cincinnati Bengals taking on Washington. Washington's favored by 1.5. Snow, go ahead.
Oh, good God. I mean, this is going to be a trap game. Good Lord. The man's internet keeps bouncing off. Just, I'll give you a cookie again, a chocolate chip cookie if you work again. Dang it. And he's back again. The internet for you right now is just, saying, I will work for you if you give me a cookie. And
It's
you
not
always
the
too cookie.
internet. It's not the internet. I'm having some weird echo issue going on right now. So anytime I
Oh.
hear echo,
Okay.
I'm just kind of rolling out. But go ahead, Snow.
Okay. So Cincinnati, Washington. Washington, of course, we know they're. I literally, we can be sitting here and still say that the Washington whatchamacallits still have a chance to get into the NFC East crown game, and it's possible. Literally 2-2 in the division, 2-7. They're only back they're down one game, game and a half from the Eagles. They're back one game from the Giants. So literally they need two-game win, and they're on top of the division for the East. Cincinnati, I have said this every single time I've tried to, I wanted to pick, but then I find this mask here every single week, and it's a constant reminder from back in the early of the season, early in the year. And I am never picking Cincinnati again. And I need to make sure I keep that updated, but that's a constant reminder of why I do not trust them kitties in Cincinnati. So I will be hopping aboard the Washington whatchamacallit train. Give me Washington.
Snow, you're a liar because there was a week that you picked the Bengals. Oh wait, no, never mind. There was a week you picked the Bengals with me. So you picked them after you said you wouldn't pick them again, only because I told you to. And here's once again, you're not wrong, because Joe Burrow is the most hit quarterback in the NFL right now. I think he's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL right now. The one thing that Washington has is a defensive line. They have a nice defensive unit. However, the kid has rubbed off on me a little bit. Joe Burrow's rubbed off on your boy a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bengals. Give me the Bengals.
Sorry, I muted myself there a little bit, but anyway, you know what, Cam, I like what you're saying about Joe Burrow rubbing off on you, because let me tell you something, dude. Joe Burrow has rubbed off on me as well. The only thing about his game that makes me a little bit nervous is he hasn't figured out his slide technique yet. It looks like he's gonna have a just career-ending injury every time he slides. So he needs to figure that out. But he really has rubbed off on me. His game seems to have translated to the NFL for a rookie in a pretty decent way. So I like what I'm seeing there so far. There is a world where I could see the Bengals winning. There's a world where I could see Washington winning. The only thing I would say where the Bengals lack defensively, Washington can make up for offensively. They have one of the better young running backs and receivers in the NFL, in Terry McLaurin and what's his name, Antonio Gibson, out of the backfield for Washington. I like both of those players a lot. I think that Alex Smith, if given weapons, could be very effective, and he proved it last week where he had a lot of stats and they just couldn't win. But I like Washington in this game. I'm gonna take Washington. Not very happy about it. I think it's super close. I think if Cincinnati had Joe Mixon, I would flip to Cincinnati, but it looks like they're not going to have Joe Mixon again this week, and so give me Washington in this one. And then we will roll.
And Cam, I just double checked. I have not picked Cincinnati since they started the 0-2-1 train. I have not picked them since. So,
well, you did pick them one week because you were mad because
I
Yeah,
picked,
you were definitely
uh,
mad one week.
Yeah, that was earlier in the season, like the
Right.
first 3 weeks. But after that, when they were starting the 0-3, the 0-2 and 1, I was done. Hence
Yeah,
why I never
you put
picked them
that
again.
yeah. You put that bag on your head that day and you said, "You know what? I'm not picking them anymore and I'm sick and tired of it." So, I remember you staking that claim there. But let's go ahead and roll on. The Lions, the Detroit Lions sitting at 4-5 are going to take on the Panthers who are at 3-7. Panthers, man, if they could find a way to finish some games, they could easily, instead of being at 3-7, if things kind of rolled it a little bit different way, they might find themselves at 7-3 realistically. But there were some times where they didn't look that good. So Carolina's favored by 1.5. Cowboy Cam, go ahead. Tell me who you have in this one. Matt Stafford's got a little bit of a torn ligament in his thumb. He's supposed to kind of power through it and play. So tell me what you think about this game.
It's tough because every time I pick Carolina, they let me down. Like never fails. Every time I picked them, they've let me down. And I'm a huge supporter of Teddy Bridgewater and that offensive unit. Go ahead, Snow. I see you.
Let me help you out with this because Carolina has lost 5 straight games. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
They're on a 5-game losing streak right now. So go ahead.
And sometimes you don't want to trust a quarterback that's banged up with a bad thumb. But I like DeAndre Swift, the running back for Detroit. It's something about Carolina's missing a few pieces. So I'm gonna take Detroit here. I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna take Detroit.
Okay, yeah, I'll go next on this one. I like Carolina in this game. Teddy Bridgewater really won me over last week. He did a lot of good things. I'm super high on DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore. I do not care about Curtis Samuel for even half of a second. I understand that he's got a lot of skill and all that stuff, but he's just not consistent for me. And so he's a guy that I generally kind of stay away from a little bit in fantasy football and in regular football. He's not consistent. Robbie Anderson, I really like. He's got some wild and crazy hair, and he's that big play guy. At any moment he could catch a pass and go 85 yards for a touchdown. You never know what you're going to get with him. But I love DJ Moore. I would love to have him on the Seahawks personally, but I know that Carolina's never going to let that dude escape. But I'm going to go with Carolina. Like I said, man, I could see a world where the Panthers could be sitting at 7-3 instead of 3-7. They're a young team. They got a lot to figure out. They're kind of in like a little bit of a rebuild, retool mode. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers this week. Snow, how about you?
Yeah, as much as I would love to join you out on that limb, I have lost confidence in Carolina, bar none. I mean, think about it, losing. They're on a 5-game losing streak. This is a Carolina Panther that has no fangs in its teeth, no claws in its arsenal right now. They're struggling in a division owned by Saints and Buccaneers right now. And even worse, they're behind Matt Ice right now in the NFC South. This is a surprisingly different Detroit Lions team than normal years for me. 4-5, 0-3 in division. I mean, they lost. They can still split. I feel like Detroit can get some luck here and there. They can make it a conference and get back into this. But I'm joining Cowboy Cam in the kitty playpen because the Motor City Cats is where it's at. Give me them Lions because they're not going to be cardiac cats this week.
Okay, here we go. We keep it rolling. Let's go. 9-0 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 1-8 Jacksonville Jaguars. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye. Okay, we all go Pittsburgh here. We're gonna go Pittsburgh. They're 9-0 for a reason. Jags are 1-8. I think Pittsburgh's kind of been slipping the past couple of weeks. They're real close, playing some close games and all that good stuff. But I don't think that this is the week that they get caught up. But here's the game that's interesting.
Well, one quick thing. I mean, yeah, we're all picking Pitt, but I would be saying this completely different if Jacksonville had Minshew out there, if he was off of injured right now with a thumb that he's going through right now. I would feel like it would be a completely different game. And of course, Pitt's, a lot of people are thinking that this is going to be the trap game that is going to give Pittsburgh the hiccup. So while we're all picking Pitt, I feel like this might be a trap game for them. They might struggle a little, but I still feel like, and I'm guessing everyone here is going to feel the same, that Pittsburgh is just going to get to that 10-0 and be one of the first teams to clinch.
Yeah, more than likely. The AFC isn't exactly stacked. So let's roll. Tennessee Titans 6-3, Baltimore Ravens 6-3. Baltimore is favored by 6.5 points. I'm gonna start with Cowboy Cam on this one. Cam, who do you have in this one?
Hey, SnowMan, go for me real quick. Go for.
Okay. Tennessee and Baltimore. Okay. Baltimore and Tennessee. This game surprisingly is completely different. If this would be a completely different aspect if the Titans had won their last two games, I would feel like the Ravens are going up against a Titans team that would have been 8-1, looking very more into it. But the fact that they've lost the last two is very concerning. Because I've said from the last for several weeks that the Titans are going to be the AFC South representative this year in the playoffs. They've looked great, but when you lose to the Bengals and you lose to the Colts, that doesn't make you look good. I mean, you lose to Bengals by 11. You get blown out by the Colts. Last week, this Titan has lost its sharpness a little bit in its sword. So while that Raven has been, still look good, they are in a serious fight right now if they want to contend for that North title. Same thing with the Titans. They're in a fight too. They're tied with the Colts for that South spot. So it's a toss-up. Either way can get you. Either one can slice you, but I feel like this might be a game that Tennessee could get out and win. However, I'm going to be flying with that Raven. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I feel you there. I'm gonna have to roll with Baltimore myself. Last year, the strength of the Tennessee Titans was their downhill running game with Derrick Henry and playing just super tough defense. This year, they have not played super tough defense. They have been very. They're leaving a lot on. Leaving a lot of meat on the bone, as they like to say here in Texas. And damn it, you know what they say in Texas, Cam? If we go out to eat and we both get wings and you leave some meat on the bone, I don't trust you. If you get your steaks well done,
I'll never.
If you get your steaks well done, I don't trust you. And so in this situation, I do not trust. I do not trust the Tennessee Titans and their defense. They're leaving a lot out there, knowing that they're capable of more and capable of something better. They're not bringing that to the table. And so I'm going to roll with the Baltimore Ravens myself. Although I feel that it's close, I'm going to give the edge to Baltimore.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. But no, you guys hit it right on the head. The Tennessee's defense is not as good as it used to be. And it's causing Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry to have to be great every single week. Like those guys have to show up no matter what, you know? And so you're going up against a good Baltimore team, and you just, even though Baltimore's dropped, I think their last two as well, you know, they're right there. Baltimore's right there. Lamar Jackson's play. For those of you doubting Lamar Jackson, you guys you're tripping. You're tripping. All right, Lamar's fine.
He's dropped it. He's since the bye week, he's dropped 2 out of 3. His only they beat the Colts, they lost to the Steelers and the Pats.
Yeah. I mean, no, Lamar Jackson has been fine. And so yeah, give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying about Lamar. Is like I just like with the Pat Mahomes stuff, I think people are too quick to crown guys like Lamar and Pat Mahomes as like the best ever. But they're also too quick to say that he's not good. I think Lamar's good. I think that teams have seen a lot what he can do in the run game, and so they load the box a little bit more. I think that Lamar doesn't have any receivers. He's got Mark Andrews and he's got Hollywood Brown, but you're talking, he's still throwing at guys like Willie Snead. Like, what do you mean? You know, J.K. Dobbins, a rookie running back. You know, so like there's some skill players that they could add there that could really help them. Alex Torres saying he calls upset Titans by 6. You know, we said it was close, so it could very well could go that way. Let's go ahead and
I won't be mad. I won't be mad if it happens.
Yeah, let's roll the next game. Patriots at 4-5 taking on the Houston Texans at 2-7. New England's favored by 2. I'm gonna start here. I'm hammering the Patriots all the way on this one. I just don't think that. Yeah, is this a hand raiser? Are we raising a hand here, or what's going on here? Snow, are we raising a hand?
I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Patriots all the way.
Yeah. I feel like this is, you know, everybody grab a musket. We're all Patriots today. We're all going to Boston.
Okay, yeah. So Patriots are going to take that game. We believe they're favored by 2, but whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
now let's go.
We just don't trust Houston this year. They're sitting, you know, they're sitting second to last in the AFC South. I mean, they're one game. I'll give it this. I will give them this. They're sitting one game back of the Titans, so they're still in it. I mean, they're still in it behind the Colts and the Titans, so they could pull a surprise, you know. But of course, I'd say wait till they have to play a division game. But
here's the kicker about the Texans being so bad that they don't even get this high draft pick. The Dolphins are going to get their draft pick. So this is like hilarious. And I feel so sorry for Houston Texan fans.
Is this so this draft pick, is this the Laramie Tunsil trade that we're talking about? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I didn't understand that trade at all. Like, I understand he's a good offensive tackle, but you gave up a first-round draft pick? Like, come on.
Well, he's good. He's definitely shored up that position because if you remember before Laramie Tunsil got there last season, that Deshaun Watson was getting killed on the regular. So he was out there with Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson just getting hammered week after week after week. And so just getting beat up. Yeah, go ahead.
Question: Is this a Houston Texans team that could pull a surprise here and win the rest of their division games?
No.
Or at least at least knock off a Colt or a Titan.
No, they're barely better than the Jags. They're barely better than the Jags.
Well, yeah, he's probably somewhat right about that, about being barely better than the Jags. But if they beat Tennessee one time, I would not be shocked, just because they do have that ability to kind of blow up. But they're not beating Indy. If they beat Indy, that would be one of the biggest upsets of the season, in my opinion. I mean, Indy looks pretty strong right now.
Well, they better, Texans better be getting, making their Christmas list early this year because for 2 out of 3 weeks they're playing the Colts to start the month of December, and right before Christmas they're playing the Colts.
It's awful.
Tough.
So, I mean, because they've already beaten the Jags twice, so that's their 2 wins right now, and they lost to the Titans one time, 36-42 back in week 6. So, I mean, it was a close game. You gotta give them that. It was a close game. It could have, dude, it could have been a blowout.
Right.
Did you say 36-14?
36-42.
Oh, 36-42. Sorry.
42.
Gotcha.
So they lost that game. It was close. So they could split. I could, maybe if they can pull their heads out, and the way that the Titans are doing right now, if there's that sword is not sharp enough, they can sneak one and split with the Titans. Then it's all going to come down to the Colts series in December. Those first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks. So anything's possible in this 2020 craziness. So
okay, let's go to our next game. Our next game is the Miami Dolphins sitting at 6-3, taking on the Denver Broncos at 3-6. Denver might be without Drew Lock, which I believe is not for sure yet, but it's pretty much all but confirmed. Shoulder injury there. I'm hammering the Dolphins on this one. I think the Dolphins are taking this one pretty easily.
Dolphins.
Hold on one sec. I think I didn't have that on my notes here for
Fins up, baby. Fins up.
So week 10. No, week 11.
Yeah, week 10,
No,
Dolphins, or sorry, week 11, yeah, Dolphins and Broncos. Miami's
They didn't
only
have-
favored by 3, but I think that they probably win by double digits.
I forgot to re-update, make sure that I had the current up-to-date schedule. I forgot some things got changed around. I had everything set up for several weeks ago. So I just gotta get everything, make sure everything's double checked.
Right.
I'm not like
Okay,
Aaron
Snow,
Rodgers. I don't
who
have
do
my
you have
discount
in
double
this
check.
one? Who do you have in this one,
Who's playing
Snow?
this-
Dolphins, Broncos. Dolphins favored by 3.
I've been rolling high and mighty with them Fish Boys. So give me them Fish Boys right now. They have been the surprise for me this season, bar none. I mean, this is a team that literally came out of nowhere. This is a team that normally would be a thorn in team sides. Unexpected times of the year, they would be one of the bottom teams of the league, and they would get these surprise wins. But this year, they're second place in the AFC East. They're 1 game out from the Bills, and they could take the AFC East and be the champs. So I'm rolling high and mighty with them Fish Boys down in Miami. So give me the Fish Boys.
It's funny. The Dolphins are a surprise to me and Mike because we love both love Brian Flores. We called it.
Yeah.
As soon as he got the job, we were like, the Dolphins are going to be contenders. Like, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man.
They get it. Plus when you talk about like just kind of on like a different topic, right? When you talk about we've talked about it over the last few weeks a little more than we usually do, but when you talk about the first female general manager in the history of sports taking that position for the Miami Marlins, right? And then you talk about a team, especially with the NFL, a business that has been predominantly dominated by old white dudes. You have an organization like the Miami Dolphins who is probably owned by an old white dude, but the head coach is a black man and the general manager is a black man. And so I love to see it. It's a little bit of a change from what the norm is. And so I like to see those things, and to see them be successful at the same time is awesome. I'm high on the Miami Dolphins. I'm high on Brian Flores. I can't remember the GM's name off the top of my head, but he seems to be doing things right. they're playing the free agency a little bit, but we'll see what happens when the draft rolls around and when they do
Because
some
they're
of
gonna
that stuff.
cash in, baby. They're gonna
Yeah.
cash in.
So we will see there. But our next all in favor game of the week is between the Jets and the
we all took Miami,
Los
right?
Angeles. Yes, we all took Miami. The Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. Is there anyone who is not saying aye? Keep your hand down if you're not saying aye. Snow. Okay. We're all saying aye. The Chargers will beat the Jets. And listen, Cam, let me tell you this right now. You asked me a few weeks back if I thought that Anthony Lynn was on the hot seat. He loses to the Jets, he's in big time trouble.
Oh, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
Ladies and germs, if anyone loses to the Jets, you might as well start getting the jokes ready.
Hey, so I didn't get the chance to talk about this though. But do we believe the Jets lost? I forgot who they played last week. They were leading going into the fourth quarter, and Joe Flacco throws an interception on the first play. I think it was the Patriots.
They played last week. They played the Pats.
Yeah. So I'm believing the Jets are full tank mode because Joe Flacco was killing the Patriots. And literally he goes out, he just throws this post route that. I don't even know what he was looking at. He just throws it, and it's picked off, and then the Patriots go win. So I believe the Jets are full tank mode. They're like, hey, we're turning the lights off. Nobody's home. We want the number 1 draft pick.
Oh, good God!
You could be right on that one. Let's go ahead and talk about what could potentially be the America's game of the week. Green Bay at 7-2, taking on the Colts at 6-3. Indy is favored by 2 points. Snow, go ahead, start us out.
I don't even think this is a real decision for me, because as much as I want to give Indy enough credit, to try to make this a interesting AFC South down there with Rivers. I feel so much stronger that the Green Bay Packers right now sitting at 7-2, 2-1 in the division right now, could and will be the NFC North champs coming, out of this season. Unless the Bears, decide to pull their head, get out of hibernation mode and pull their heads out of their caves and play, start tearing stuff up down there in the north with the Vikings and the Lions. But the Packers, them cheeseheads, I feel like this could be a game that, or actually should be a game that they just continuously just
We'll be rolling, rolling Phillip Rivers
all night long because I am going to enjoy my cheese with them Packers. Give me the Packs.
Like you want me to take this one real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look here. All right, SnowMan, you're tripping. All right. Look here. The Colts have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're coming to town. They're legit. All right. I don't trust the Packers. I believe the Packers are pretenders. I believe the Packers are pretenders. They are who I thought they were. All right. I don't think that they'll be able to stop the Colts. I just don't. I don't trust the Packers defense. I don't trust the Packers offense necessarily outside of, Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams. And what the Colts are really good at, taking away your best. They can take away your number 1 receiver, and they can rush the passer. So give me the Colts over the Packers. This one's going to come back and haunt you, and I'm going to enjoy every single minute of it.
Wow.
You know what? Every time, I find it funny how almost every time you say that, I come back here on this show and I'm sitting here looking like I just came off the streets of solving some crime for CSI Miami and looking oh so fly, just coming in here looking all cool and ready
Look
to
here.
throw it right back in the face, man. Just
Look here. There's a reason I am leading right now in the pick'em. There's a reason. I know what I'm doing. I got you, and I want you to keep that same energy next week.
So here's the deal.
Okay, Mr. Cool.
Here's the deal. I think that Indy has a very good defense. I think that they're going to take away Devontae Adams. I think that if you take away Devontae Adams from Aaron Rodgers, that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a hard time. Green Bay has shown an inability to beat some of these better teams, right? So they struggled. They got blown out against Tampa Bay, like hard. They lost to Minnesota earlier this year, which is kind of just weird. I mean, they're still way better than Minnesota. And I'm just not ready to give them the obvious go ahead over Indy. So I'm taking Indy in this one. I'm with Cam. We're going Indy. You went Green Bay. And that's just kind of one of those things. That's how I feel about it. Well, let's go ahead. Let's move to the next game. Let's see. Oh, Cowboy Cam in the house. The Dallas Cowboys at 2-7 with Andy Dalton. Will be taking on the Minnesota Vikings at 4-5. Minnesota's favored by 7 points. Tell me what you think, Cam.
It's gonna pain me to say this. It's gonna pain me to say this. I never thought earlier in the season I would choose these Vikings, but the Vikings are gonna beat the Dallas Cowboys. No, Dalvin Cook is legit, and I believe they're gonna find a way to unleash Dalvin Cook on the Dallas Cowboys defense, and we're gonna see that it's gonna show that Ezekiel Elliott isn't on Dalvin Cook's level. It's funny because when Zeke came in, I believe Zeke was better than Dalvin Cook because he was banged up and he was injured and things of that nature. But this Dalvin Cook we've seen over the past 2 seasons, my Lord. All right. And so I just believe, Kirk Cousins will protect the ball. No, I don't. I know Kirk Cousins is still not good. He's still not. Well, I'm not gonna say he's not good. He's decent. He's just decent. He's nothing special. He's decent. But Dalvin Cook is gonna look spectacular against the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll find a way to lose this game by like 10 points. Our defense has played better. I don't know what Andy's going to do with the offense. I don't know what to expect. So give me the Vikings.
oh, coming in with that Vikings soul clap.
Hey, before we get there, Snow.
Have you officially traded your Dallas Cowboy hat for some horns? For going up to the Great White North of Minnesota?
No, he didn't. Cam, just go ahead. Cam,
I'll say for this year.
Cam, put yourself back on mute. I got you. Listen, Snow, it's all about Team Tank over there, okay? The guy sitting next to you, he's talking about Team Tank in the house right now. He's trying to get that draft pick, dude. He's not worried about Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson or Kirk Cousins or Adam Thielen, Kyle. He doesn't care about any of those dudes, okay? The only thing he's worried about is Team Tank right now. How can we be as competitive as possible while still losing the game? That's what he wants to know about right now. This week and every week for that matter. So I can guarantee you that's what Cowboy Cam's smelling. That's what he's stepping in. That's what he's tasting. All of that good stuff. Give me Minnesota by 10. Not that the points matter in this game. I think Minnesota wins, especially with the Trayvon Diggs kid out. There's not a lot that Dallas is going to be able to do to stop that passing game. I'm looking for kind of big numbers from the receivers and from the running back as well. And so, Snow, go ahead.
Be patient. Just wait. They will let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
Oh, but wait a minute.
Oh my God, we killed Kenny. We killed Kenny? Killed
Oh, yikes.
That is essentially the Dallas Cowboy season as of, well, the beginning of this season. But literally, I'm jumping on and I'm jumping with you guys. I'm heading up to the Great North to defend the North, and I'm jumping on to give this Dallas Cowboys the proper Viking funeral because we're all going to Viking Town.
Yeah, you got that right. Let me just say here on the Flex Network airwaves, Snow, you have no idea who this is, but our boy Cam Slaughter is the real MVP. That's all you need to know about. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's move. We got a couple games left. Let's go. Kansas City Chiefs taking on the COVID Raiders. And the Chiefs at 8-1, the Raiders at 6-3. Kansas City is favored by 7 points. And dude, I wish the Raiders didn't have so many dudes going on that COVID list because I would be really, really tempted to pick them. Aren't they the ones that handed the Chiefs their only loss of the year so far?
Mm-hmm. Vegas is the only team to throw a rock into their beautiful season and just shatter it, baby.
Man, because I really
Houston. Yeah, we're talking Raiders at this point, and she's got a mallet.
What are we talking about?
That's your problem. She's right next to you.
She's right next to you. You better pick the Raiders, dude.
We might want to make the picks now. Let's go, guys.
Snow, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Who you got, Snow? Since you're right there and on the spot and everything, you're in striking distance. She has a legit mallet, dude. That's a rubber mallet she's got there. She's ready just to. You're in trouble, dude. Who you got? Raiders by 50 is probably what you're gonna say, right? Raiders by 50. That's what I thought.
I'm going Raiders. I think this is going to be I think the Raiders are going to bash the Chiefs and give them their two losses for the year, and the Raiders are going to jump the Chiefs and represent the AFC West. Give me them Raiders, baby.
Do you honestly believe that, or
Yes.
are you on the spot?
Yes, I am believing in the Raiders that they can do it. Hey, remember these words from the great KG.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Because it's 2020, and right now the Raiders are the only ones to beat the Chiefs, and it's going to be a 2-time beating.
Snow, but we're not talking about the Las Vegas Raiders here. We're talking about the COVID Raiders.
The COVID Raiders.
They put
COVID
seven
Raiders?
dudes. They put 7 dudes on the COVID list today. And at least 3 of them are
Like
starters.
49ers and other teams.
We haven't.
What did she say?
Well,
Dallas. Isn't Dallas on their practice
hold
squad?
on. Say again, Mom.
We're not on our practice squad like, the 49ers, or isn't Dallas even on the practice squad by now with their 5th quarterback? Not that I don't love you, hon, but I'm just saying.
I love you too.
Love you too. So yeah, everyone, the 2 most injured teams right now that are sucking the worst are on their practice squad, basically.
That's true. It's still the COVID Raiders.
yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm staying with the Raiders. I ain't going against them Chiefs right now. I feel like the Raiders could pull something out of their ass, and it could come down to a close game again.
You know what, Snow? I'm gonna go ahead and see the Chiefs are very beatable, and the Raiders have the formula to beat the Chiefs, and it's running the football. Josh Jacobs is a grown man, all right? It's a grown man. So
You think?
it's gonna kill. This may come back to get me. Give me the Raiders. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Raiders over the Chiefs. I'm gonna do it.
You guys are
Mike?
unbelievable.
Mike?
You guys are You guys
Do
are
it, Mike.
unbelievable.
Do it, Mike.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take KC. And if I'm wrong, this is one of those things. This is one of those things that if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the Raiders pull it off, and we're
Now,
talking
if,
about the
when,
COVID Raiders, if they pull it off,
When,
okay,
not
win.
if,
We can say
when.
win. I don't care. I already
When
picked
they pull it
KT,
off.
so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
He switched it
So-
to win.
When they pull it off, I will be happy, and I will text you. I'll be so happy about it because I would love to watch the Chiefs lose. That would
Now,
make me
what if
so
that is
happy.
the game that makes you lose the week, though?
It is what it is. I'll live with that. Because the
I'm gonna
Chiefs get
remember
way
you
too
said
much
that.
attention. Okay, you can. That's fine.
Uh,
Because I've been high on the Raiders all year. I really have.
You boys have fun.
okay.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
She shows up for the Raiders game and then rolls out. Okay, so
And she puts the weapon down.
I could pick it back up.
yeah, for your sake, I hope she puts a weapon down. Okay. Anyway, let's go to Monday Night Football. This is the score picker for the week. ESPN Rams taking on the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's favored by 4. Snow, I'm gonna start with you.
Stay for more games. I can.
If you wanted to stay for more games, you can. But we're almost done. So
So, you gotta let me know that. And I will join. I will happily give my opinion on other teams besides the Raiders.
okay.
Just let me know.
This is so tough.
Oh God. You know what? For the sake of NFC West, while the fact that the Rams are in this three-headed monster fight with the the Seahawks and the Rams, and the Cardinals, and the Buccaneers right now are looking like one of the top teams in the NFL right now. I feel like Tampa Bay is going to be too strong for these Hollywood Rams. So give me a pirate sword and I'm jumping on the Jolly Roger. Give me them Bucks.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, wait, what's your score, by the way?
And
What's
my
your score?
score? I will guess. Oh, damn. That was this is going to be I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Give me. You know what? Give me. Give me an even 50.
Dang it. You got me. Well, no, because I'm actually going to go. All of a sudden, the Buccaneers beat the Panthers, and people go, oh, that's one of the best teams in the NFL. No, no, and hell no. I still remember what happened to the Buccaneers. They put up 3 points against the Saints, and that was in the fourth quarter, which means it should have been 38-0, but they decided to kick a field goal because they're fake, they're phonies, and they didn't want to get blown out. Well, no, I mean, they didn't want to get cooked, I guess. So the Rams come to town. This is a legit defense. All right, it's a legit defense. And I don't trust Tom Brady against a legit defense, especially Aaron Donald against that offensive line. So give me the Rams. And I'll take the 50 points, but give me the Rams with the 50.
You can't take the 50. I got the 50.
I can't, even though I take the Rams.
Wait a minute. Actually,
you got it. No.
If it's a different team.
You're taking Rams
Yeah,
and he took
taking
Bucks.
Rams, yeah.
Okay. Yes. That'll work. Okay.
We'll figure
Here's the
out
thing.
if it comes to we need a definitive tiebreaker for that.
Right. Okay. So
We'll figure something.
this is where I stand on the whole topic. I think that Cam, where you were very critical of the Packers and very critical of the Bucks being pretenders or fake or whatever you want to call them, I think that the Rams are really fake. I think that playing the Seahawks this last week in probably one of the worst games that Russell Wilson's ever played in his career was no type of measuring stick for the Rams. Jared Goff still is not a good quarterback. That draft for quarterbacks is looking bad. Jared Goff and Carson Wentz going back to back. And so I'm not giving the Rams as much credit as other people are giving them. The Rams have a very clear identity, which is we're going to score. They're the best first possession team in the NFL. And so the Seahawks, who don't have a good defense, really slowed down the Rams defensively in the second half, which is kind of funny. You're talking about a Rams team that scores pretty high up there in the league, and you only scored 23 against the Seahawks defense. Okay, that's weird. And so I'll start there. I think that the Rams have a good corner in Jalen Ramsey, probably the best corner in football. But I'm not there with them stopping all of the receivers that Tampa Bay has. I mean, you're talking Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Gronk. Ronald Jones had a coming out party this last week and balled out of his mind. And so he is out there doing his thing. They really haven't even tapped into what Gronk is capable of. But I think there's a way where the Bucs can lose this game, and that's if Bruce Arians screws this game up. Bruce Arians is the weak link of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and if we get into a situation where he's making some crucial calls, he could screw that game up for them. I'm taking the Bucs in this one strictly on an NFC West bias type thing. I want the Rams to lose because I don't think they're as good as people think that they are. And I don't know if the Rams can stop all of those receivers. I mean, because like we talked about, they're building an NBA super team over there, right? They got all these guys like. In a perfect world, Antonio Brown would never even be anywhere close to the Bucs because, like I said, in a perfect world, he wouldn't be in all that trouble. He'd still probably be the best receiver in football, all that good stuff. So I like what the Bucs have. They look super good this last week, and so it's just one of those things. I'm going to be NFC West bias here. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. And then my score is going to be 52 points.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
All right.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm not mad, with any of our picks. I mean, this week it should be a great week for football as we, close out a chaotic week 10 and head into week 11 and look forward to a great Thanksgiving next week, guys. It should be fun.
Right. So that will excuse me. That will close up our picks for the week. We are the Flex Network. Above me is Cowboy Cam. Follow him on Facebook. Search Cowboy Cam on Facebook. To the side of Cowboy Cam is the SnowMan. You can find him on the Facebook account for the Flex Network. Just search the Flex Network. You could find him on Twitter talking everything wrestling, which is at FlexNet_PW Elite. He will be live tomorrow night talking wrestling with a special guest, Max from Without a Cause Wrestling there up in the Pacific Northwest. He'll be running his show. And of course you can find me on the Flex Network. I'm the main guy running the Flex Network page. And then you can find me on Twitter at FlexMike. I'm there on Twitter. I think I'm at FlexMike11 actually.
It's right next to your name, my man.
Oh yeah, at Flex. Yeah, see, there we go. At FlexMike11 on Twitter. And so I'll be there. Twitter's popping now. They got this new update, all types of crazy things going on. They're trying to take the game back over. And so here we are. But that is it for us this week. And so until next week, we will catch you guys later.
Peace out.